there are a lot of tutorials on how to do a headstand, and this is really not the purpose of this video to teach you how to do a headstand. What I wanted to share is why this pose is so amazing and share some of the key points that are important in practicing this pose. I also practiced those tips with some of my students that achieved headstands, so I'm very excited to share them so you can achieve this pose with more ease, fun, and confidence. But before we get into the drills and tips, I wanted to explore this pose. Why was it so addicting? Lots of people I know love this pose. How is it beneficial to your body? If you don't want to wait around and just want to get the drills and tips, skip to this timeline. If you're still here, let's talk about headstands. How's this pose affecting your body? It releases stress by bringing your attention inward. Headstands improve focus by increasing blood flow to the brain, beneficial for the eyes because nutrients reach the eyes, and it helps prevent macular degeneration in the eyes. Strengthens upper body and core. It flushes adrenal glands. Those are the parts that produce stress hormones. It's good for radiant skin and hair growth. It increases lung capacity, takes the pressure off the feet, improves the absorption of the food, and improves the overall digestion. Basically, being upside down is really good for you. Before I even knew about the scientific facts, the only thing that probably attracted me to headstand is that it looks cool. And this is why I started practicing it. But when I started doing it, I noticed some really amazing things happening. Every time I practiced a headstand, I felt like nothing else exists. Nothing else matters other than keeping yourself upside down or trying to get upside down. And this is a really submersive process that brings a lot of joy because you are so in the moment. I read this thing one time about headstand and just inversions in general. When you're upside down and you're looking at things upside down, it works the way the pose works. It flips your perspective. So after I do any sort of inversion where I'm upside down, it kind of flips my perspective onto my day, onto things, and I'm kind of rebooted. I always feel really happy after doing inversions, and being upside down, it's just like a happy time. I noticed that my confidence sort of grew because working in this pose, building a strength, and it's my personal project for myself that I'm working on the skill. And I noticed that from practicing with some of my students that when I see them achieving this pose little by little, this confidence grows in them, that fire, that they are capable of doing those strong things and their body is capable of building into what you want it to be. And I think this is a really cool confidence booster as well as like a really empowering experience. So if you are new to inversions or being upside down, I'm really excited for you. Big part of it is being mentally decisive, like that you decided that you are going to be committing to this pose, because I feel like a lot of the barriers are mental. But yes, there are obviously ways to build strength and have more confidence in your physical abilities that we're going to discuss next. The first drill is forearm plank. This is a great strengthening exercise that helps you to build overall strength in shoulders, in core, in your back, everywhere. Including it into your practice is a really good way to build strength little by little, have a little more confidence when being in headstand and holding yourself with your shoulders. You can hold it longer or you can make it dynamic by moving up and down. There's lots of fun ways to practice it. The second drill is forward fold. This is very important for headstand because you need to bring your hips over your shoulders. So you need to have flexible hamstring. One of the good ways to practice standing wide-legged forward fold. It opens up your hamstrings. You work on that compression that is so helpful in headstands. You can also practice a traditional forward fold. Just practice it after you're warmed up, just so your muscles are ready to release and stretch. The third drill is a dolphin. This is one of the best drills for headstands and forearm stands if you're going to be aiming there, because it helps you to build a strength in your shoulders as well as that compression by bringing your feet closer to your elbows and opening up your hamstrings. So this is an amazing pose to practice. It's very fun and challenging pose that I really love for overall strength. If you can hold any of those drills for a minute or so, this is a good sign that you might be ready to build strength through practicing the actual headstand. Now, the actual tips when you are practicing this pose. So hopefully you watch some tutorials on how to do it and you have like a general idea how to get into it. So first tip, use a wall, please. I didn't use a wall. It was lots of noise. Most of the people are not comfortable with constantly falling over. So find a wall to practice next to even before taking off your feet off the ground. First goal is to bring your hips over the shoulders. So this is something that you can practice it for the few flows that you do. You don't have to like get into the headstand right away. You can't really see it. You can film yourself if there's no one around to guide you. But basically the goal is to practice relying on your shoulder strength and bringing your hips over. Another tip that is actually probably the main tip that I wanted to accentuate in this video, and this is something I noticed from teaching the headstand, that it is a very challenging pose and it sometimes stops your breath because you want to get into it, you want to lift up. But what's very important in each part of the construction of the headstand is to take a deep breath or take a few breaths. You can get into it and you just hold your breath, you squeeze yourself, but the goal of the pose is to breathe in it, is to exist in it, is to find that ease in it eventually. So the sooner you start breathing in every step of the pose, the further you will get yourself in that pose. So even if you don't take off your feet off the ground, holding that kind of preparation pose where your hips are over your shoulders, you want to take a few breaths before taking off your feet. You want to breathe into this position before getting into the next step. And the next step that I also wanted to accentuate that really helps you to build strength in this pose is to release headstand with a control. I know it's tempting to just fall whenever you don't have the energy anymore, but it's going to be so beneficial for building strength if you can lower your legs with control. And one last tip is find a dirty point, find a point of focus, maybe a little dust, anything, little dot that you can concentrate on and basically get your attention inward. That will help you to kind of cancel out the environment and really concentrate on the pose. It really helps with balance when you have that one point of focus that you insist on looking at throughout the whole experience. I know this tip sounds very tiny and insignificant, but trust me, this will help, and just start implementing it in any balancing poses. It is a game changer. Engage everything. Don't forget to not flap around. You don't flap around, you engage everything. So don't forget to engage everything. You're making an assertive effort to control your muscles and take yourself into that position instead of going with the momentum and going with the inertia of your body. I hope this is helpful to you on your journey. It could be frustrating not being able to do this pose, constantly fail, but trust me, looking back, this is honestly one of the best parts where you get to create something, where you get to build that strength, build the connection, and create this beautiful pose with your body. How cool is that your body can do that? It has the potential to do that. So it's up to you to carve out this skill and work in it. And I think this is very rewarding, gives you lots of confidence and joy. So I'm very excited for you. I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know what you think and how your practice is going. I'm excited to talk to you in the comments, and have a wonderful, wonderful practice. Bye bye.